Good day, Pietro. How are you? Can you hear me? Oh, yeah. Thank you so much. You can. Yes. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for attending, Pietro. Sure. I don't know what happened this morning. Did you get your invite today, Pietro? You did not. Okay. No wonder there's just two of us. I sent it. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I actually sent it out. I thought you received it. I thought you received it. Ah, it's fine. Water under the bridge. I think the other guys they did not really take some action there to find out. I think yeah they are missing out. Sorry about that. Okay, let me check if I don't have anyone asking anything here. Please hold. Okay, Lloyd. Yeah, there's nothing, Pietri. There's nothing. There's nothing. Okay. Look at LSC. Oh, you want me to look at the LSC? LSC is a bad stock. Okay, let's have a look at LSC first. Pietro. Okay, let's start here. Pietro, I don't know. I think maybe they have another another way of analyzing the market. They have another way of analyzing the market. I think they're expecting a bit of a bounce there. I'll show you what I think they're expecting, but this is an aggressive trade. That's why I don't think I like it. They're all below the SMA, but let me show you something. You see now I'm on the monthly chart. Let me change this to a line chart. You see this turning point here? I think they are looking at this turning point. This was in September 2017. Let me mark that turning point. Okay, that's our turning point there, around 2362. I didn't actually get the idea. I didn't open it here. What is the entry there, Pietro, and the stop loss? Please give me those quickly. Those two. Okay, thanks. I'll wait. Okay. Okay. Entry. Okay. Let me see. What is this low? 2360. Entry is 2385. Okay. TP25. Okay. Let's check here quickly. Okay. Mark this one black. Okay, that area is important. I'm doing this on the weekly time frame, Pietro. I'm just closing in on the price. I want to check exactly what's going on here. 24, 25, 12, 25, 54. Sure. Okay. Thank you so much for those values. Okay, this is our main support right now, yeah, Pietro. This support is 2362, 2360. This area here, 2360. Yesterday's low was 2360, and today we didn't actually come down that much. Our low today was 2373. From there, the price went up. It closed above last week's close. Last week's close was around 2393. We are below the simple moving average on the daily time frame, which is negative, and we are sitting on a support around 2360. If you look at the hourly time frame, we are below the simple moving average as well. So all we need is for the price to break down below 2393 and go test 2362. Around 2362, that's where we can wait and see what the market participants do. Do they protect that zone or that area around 2362 and a little bit lower, or do they let the price go through that area and move lower? So I do not really know what's going to happen here yet. But what I can tell you is that where the market is currently at, that area is very important, because I mean that is last week's close. We closed at 2393, and the level below that is 2362, which is our main support currently. So the reason why this trade idea was sent out, it's mainly because of this support that we have around 2362. 2362 is the main support area. That is why the trade was sent out. But I have three levels I'm looking at. I'm looking at 2476. If it happens that the price finally crosses above the simple moving average and move higher today, our first area of resistance around 2476. The next area of resistance is 2512 or 2510, around that area there. What I will do, I will draw a range. There's a range there. There's a range here. Should I make it 2550 or that one? Okay. That's our range there. Our range is 2560 and 2512. I think when this trade idea was formulated, they were looking at this between these two zones here. But I'm worried about 2476, 2512. If you haven't taken those out, there's a good chance that this market is still gonna move lower. So I wouldn't really go into this one. You can go into this one if you're an aggressive trader. Let me show you another thing that's very important. End of June. This is now 6 months. End of June, we closed at 2488. So 2488 is very important on this one. 2488. Let me do 2488. I understand that we have too many lines now, but I just want to show you this one. Okay, let me do it like this. Okay, that area is around 2476, 2488. I think that's where our main resistance is at. I do not expect this market to go through that area without any fight from the sellers of this market. So I don't see 54 coming through. I don't see that happening, to be quite honest. I agree with you. I think this is not a good trade, to be quite honest. Okay, you're asking why is 2488 so important? Okay, 2488 is important because it marks the end of the first 6 months of 2018, and the price is still trading below that area there. Let us check last end of June, end of June, end of June, end of June. We closed at 2480, and the price soon after that it moved a little bit higher, turning around 2560. But I mean that 2480, 2480, 2489 is very important. As long as the market is trading below 2480, 2489, it means that that market is still under a lot of pressure. It's very important that you keep an eye on that one. Okay, I think we've done enough on this one, Pietro. Do you want us to do more? Do you still have more questions on this one? I think we can do maybe. I think now we can do Euro JPY. Oh, okay, Euro JPY. Okay, Euro JPY. Okay, Euro JPY is there. Okay, let's wait for our chart to. Okay, we are done. This one looks tricky. Looks very tricky, Pietro. This is the monthly time frame. Let me see if I can get anything on the line chart. Chart. Okay. On the monthly, we have this resistance here. I'll mark it black. This resistance there at the top, around 131.808. 131.808 is very important, Pietro. Hence, I've marked it. Okay, it's fine. Let's check the weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, Petro. This is where we closed first week of July. This is the okay. Let me refresh. That can't be true. First week, second week. Now the third week, we are right at our resistance around 131.800. Around 131.800. 131.800. around 131,800, and after that, the area that is important is 133. Okay. Well, we've been rising over the past 2 weeks. We are above the simple moving average on the weekly closing basis. That's all well and good. And last week we are up 0.93. The other week 0.93 again. Week to date we are up 0.23. We've been rising. Okay, we'll come back to this one. Let's go check our daily time frame. Our daily time frame is right at resistance, the black line, the black horizontal line there in the middle. Black line in the middle there. Let me see if we cannot get a better view of that, Pietro. Okay, it's still below. So the most important level here, Pietro, is a close above or below 131,800. If we close above 131,800 today, there's a good chance this market is going to go up to 133. I'm not worried about the small numbers. I'm just looking at 133 as the target. But the problem is this 131,800. You haven't taken out 131,800. It still looks like there are sell orders waiting there. But I mean, they are not very aggressive around that area, because if they were aggressive, they would have pushed the price much lower from those levels here. Plus another thing, if you are a head and shoulders fan, you can see the left shoulder here, head, right shoulder, and the price has broken out, so you can expect a substantial move there from this head and shoulders formation that we see on this chart. But I don't think that will happen. I don't think that will happen. Okay, sure. The black line is our resistance. We're on the hourly time frame. There is one that I want to check quickly. I want to check if there isn't any. Okay, let's check. No, there is no. Well, there is. Sure. We have some negative divergence here. I don't know if you can spot it on the RSI. It's here. I'll leave this one. This is another one. When the price crossed above the support, it stayed above the support, and it went up to that area there at the top. I'll show you why I'm saying that this is a bearish divergence. It is a bearish divergence in a way, I think. I don't know if you can see that, Pietro. There is a bearish divergence or a negative divergence. The price is rising, but the RSI is failing to stretch with the price. It's failing to move higher. It is making lower highs. The market, it's making lower highs, so that's a bad sign that maybe the market is actually running out of steam. Okay, look at these points here, these top points. Okay, let's do this. Let me try and do this. Maybe you're going to get a better view of what I'm talking about here. Okay. Can't. Okay. Okay. Can you check those there, Pietro? Can you see those? You see, the market has been rising, making higher highs, but take your RSI. Your RSI is not rising with the price. Instead, your RSI is going flat. Can you see this? That's what I'm comparing here. Or should I make them black? Let me make them black. You see this black here is going flat and the price is still rising here. And this one is going flat. That's a sign that the market is now running out of steam. The two levels that I've just marked here. I don't know if that makes sense to you. I'll give you more examples on this. Yes, so the price is rising, the RSI is flattening out, going flat. So that's a sign that any time from here we can see this market breaking down, and I mean the closing below the simple, oh, sorry, closing below the simple moving average, closing below that resistance that we have there around 131 800. So it's very important that you keep an eye on that one. Any close below the simple moving average on the hourly time frame from now until maybe 8 tonight, you must keep an eye on it and check exactly why we are getting that. If we get one, maybe you should position yourself to sell back down to this 130.2 here on this one. I know that the trade signal is a buy, but if you do not get any close above that 131 800 on the hourly time frame within between now and 8 tonight, maybe you can look to sell, but I mean you must confirm it. This rising this rising wedge here, this rising wedge that we have, any break below the simple moving average, close below that black line, a solid black line at the top around 131.808, and a break below this thick black line, you can expect to see the market coming down. I'm talking about this thick black line marking the rising wedge. This is where you can actually expect to see the confirmation that this market is really coming down. For now, it's very difficult to tell whether we are going to, I mean, break and come down from those levels where we are, but chances are that this market or this currency pair should decline from those levels. Looking at our RSI, looking at our solid black horizontal line here that is acting as our resistance. Well, I mean, some can say that it's support, but we are looking at the daily time frame, weekly time frame, as well as the hourly. So on the hourly, if we close above below the simple moving average, close below uh, this line here, the one that I've just marked now, there's a good chance that this market is going to come back down to 130.2, 130, 130 flat around those levels. Okay, which examples are you talking about there, Pietro? Which examples? Okay, let me check here. I don't like using a lot of indicators, but let's try. Let's try MACD. Let's try MACD. Let's try MACD. Okay. Here is our MACD. Okay, MACD is here. Okay. I think we're getting the same picture again here, that of divergence. Let me show you what I'm talking about. The indicator is coming down whilst the price is still rising. Indicator coming down, the price is still rising. That's negative. Another thing I'm looking at, let's look at our histogram. But I don't want you to use a lot of this because it's going to confuse you in your analysis. Let's look at our histogram. You see this bar here is higher than this bar, and this bar is higher than this one. So that's showing that there is a waning momentum, the waning of momentum. The momentum is going down, is coming down. The market is not likely to keep rising because I mean the histogram, the bars are actually shortening. They are actually becoming lower and lower and lower. The next one that's going to come, this is the hourly time frame. The next one that's going to come should be lower than the current bar. It will come at, let me see. The new one will start at 1 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, you get the new one. But I don't want you to focus more on indicators. I want you to understand the chart, understand support levels. And if you say that you want to sell, there have to be some strong evidence backing up your argument why you want to go short or why you want to buy the stock. Okay, Pietro, what else do you think we should look at here? What else is confusing you that you'd like me to touch on? GBP, AUD. Okay, we'll have a look at that one. Okay. We are trading above the simple moving average on this one, on the monthly time frame. Let's mark the levels from the month of June. That was your close because the market was rising. And here is your open, where the market opened. You see, the market came down into this zone within the previous month's trading range, and it moved out of it. Currently, it's out. I don't know whether it's starting to move higher, but we'll check from the other time frames. Let's look at the weekly time frame and see if there is anything that we can pick up from there. I'm not worried about the long-term data. I just want to see what's happening like right now. Okay. Let's look at first week in July, second week was positive, and right now we are trading above last week's close, which is good. Okay. 1.7900 or 1.79064. That's where we have our resistance on this one, on the weekly time frame. Let's check the daily time frame. See if we can get anything that can assist us in this market. Okay. It's in consolidation. It's moving sideways. It's in consolidation. I'm moving sideways. Okay. Okay. We are stuck in consolidation for now. We've been doing ping pong between. I'm not really worried about the weekly close, but the weekly close is very important, but I'm not worried about it. That area is 1.79064. I'm worried about 1.79535. Close at, well, I mean, 1.79535. That's the main area I'm worried about, and this one here at the bottom. I'm worried about these two. They're thick. Okay, let me just change this to blue. I'm not worried about the blue lines. I'm only worried about the black lines. We are trading within this zone here. Now we know where this market is trading. It's trading within this zone. Our support is 1.77565. Resistance 1.79535. Let us now do the daily time frame. Oh, yeah, it rose early this morning because I mean we had some important data coming out of the UK. We had employment data. There was a whole lot. I don't have the whole list, but I mean there was some important data that came out. Yeah, so that's why I think went up. I didn't actually get a chance to analyze the data or to look at it. I was busy the whole time until the time we had to do the webinar. So right now we are still stuck in this range. If you do the hourly time frame, I think you can see it much clearer. I think you can see what I'm talking about. Look at the thick black lines, that band that is forming there, that 1.77565 and that 1.79535 there. That's our top resistance. And if you look at our hourly time frame, let us now focus on the two blue lines. For now, let's just focus on the two blue lines. The market is right above the lower blue line, which is our support, and we are heading up towards that 1.79064. We are heading up towards that, but I don't know whether we are going to get there without any disturbance from the sellers. Let me check this. Mm, Let me check this. Let me check this. Let me check this. Okay. Okay. But you must be very careful. Don't just go in blindly. You must make sure that you double check everything before you take a long on this one if you want to go in for a long. Let me mark. This one looks like a what can I call it? A widening wedge. See, it almost looks like a wedge. It started here, it was much lower, then it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Then that's the top part. I don't know what's going to happen when it gets there. It will either break up above here or it's going to come back down here. We'll see whether we stay above 1.78377 or we come back down to 1.78 136 100, that zone. Let me put it back on candles. You see, this is your support on this structure here. We are not looking at the thick blue line, our horizontal support or resistance. We are not looking at that one. We are focusing more on these ones, the black lines. We are focusing more on the black lines. The market is going up there. It hasn't taken out that black line. It's possible that we may come back down to our support here. I don't know what's going to happen when we get to that support. If there's enough buying power there, enough market participants willing to push the price higher, the price is going to go up. But if there isn't enough, we may see the price coming back down to 1.78100 before rising again towards above this line and finally towards 1.79064. So this one is a bit of it's a bit of a dicey one at the moment. Well, we'll see what will happen next. But I still think that we need to go above this blue line here, maybe towards that 1.79535. I think we still need to do that. Because looking at this structure that we have been trading sideways since since the 18th, the 20th of June, we've just been trading like this, and from here we should expect the price to shoot up, maybe to that 1.79535 point finally. Sure. I think if you buy from the, I mean, if you buy at the bottom of this, I think you can do well, or at the break above. The only problem that I have with that is that our resistance is very close, around 1.79. Our resistance there is very close, around 179. I'd rather wait for the price coming down closer to our support here, this black line here, around here. If the price does actually come down here, I would go in without any problems. I would go in and take a long, provided the market is bouncing off, it's giving me a positive bar going up. Then I'd go in and take a long. For now, I'm actually sitting on the fence, but I favor the move going up towards that 1.79 500 or 535 area. That's what I think I like right now about this market, Pietro. Okay, CLS. Yeah. Okay, let's check it. Okay. up 1%. Sure, my machine is now acting up on me. I don't know what this is. Let me try moving. Let me try switching screens. Let me try switching screens, Pietro. Something is not right here. Let me see if I do that. Just switched my other screen. Okay. Okay. Now I'm going to be using this screen here. Desktop sharing. Please hold on for me there, Pietro. I just need to switch screen sharing, screen control. Okay, now it's better, Pietro. Sorry about that. I've just switched. Okay, that's our time frame, weekly time frame. We are below the simple moving average. See, Pietro, if you had followed a break below the simple moving average, I mean, second week of June, you could have made yourself a lot of money selling from 204, 205 there down to 180s. Weekly time frame, we haven't really closed below the the monthly time frame yet. We've just touched the 10 simple moving average there around our support. We have some nice support around 180 on this one. This is long-term support. If you check the quarterly time frame also, that 181 is still relevant. Let's check our 6 months. That's our 6 months there. First half of 2018, positive, up 8.5%. Second half so far is negative, or month to date, quarter to date, whatever you want to call it. We are down 4.67%. That 1.81% is still looking good. I like it. Now, the price is trading between 196.89 and 181. That area is very important. It's going to help us going forward to determine whether this market is really going to rise or not going forward. Okay, sure, we are actually flat. Year to date, we are flat. We are up, well, I mean, we're up just 1.18% from our previous close last year. Okay. Sure. Let's draw a rising trend line here from 2017. Okay. Okay, let's look at this one. You see this rise that started back in 2017. It was actually beginning of 2017. To date, we've just been trading above this rising trend line here. Yeah, this thick blue trend line here. We've been trading above it since 2017, and the market is coming down. Well, I mean, it has been coming down. It just bounced off that support around 81 that I mentioned to you. It's possible that we may still see this price maybe coming down towards 178, 177. It's possible that we may still come down to 178, 177 if this support here fails to contain the price. If 181 fails to contain the price, there's a good chance that we could see this market coming down between 181 and 177 before another leg higher. So going in now, if you decide to go in now, you'd be going in blindly. You'll be buying blindly based on support and resistance, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing really doing that, but you must be prepared for some wild swings because around turning points there is a lot of volatility, so you must be very careful when trading such setups. You must perhaps I mean, try to be a little bit conservative, waiting for the market to first give you maybe a couple of confirmations before going in. Respecting the trend line, respecting maybe the rising, the trend line support from the rising trend, horizontal support, and the close above the simple moving average there. So right now we haven't actually seen any of those yet. The market is still below the simple moving average on the weekly, below the simple moving average on the daily. Now let us go check the hourly time frame. Let's see what the hourly time frame is saying now before we decide to take this trade. Okay, let's remove this one. Let's remove this one. It's not relevant. Okay, we've just bounced off this 181. We had a very tiny close above the simple moving average. This was at 11, between 11 and 12. And between 12 and 1, we are trading nice above the simple moving average here of our support here. It's important to focus on your support. Of our support around 181.36, and the market is bouncing off that area. Well, let's hope that we're going to see a follow through after this minor rise that we've seen on this one. Let me try and draw a falling trend line here. Sure. Okay. That falling trend line. Okay. That's a falling trend line. This trend line is very important. If we close above this trend line at 1 o'clock and above the simple moving average, there's a good chance that we may have a bit of a follow through. We may see this market rising, although we are going in before we get those confirmations, because we know that this 180 is very important. We've been waiting for this 180 for a very long time. Even if you can go back to some of the webinar sessions that we've done, you can find this 180. We've always mentioned that CLS had a lot of support around 180. That's the level that we're really waiting to see. Now that we're seeing it, we think that maybe there's a good chance that we could see this market rising. But watch out for that declining trend line. This one, the one that I've just highlighted, declining. The price has been trading below this trend line since the 9th of July. I know that that's not a very long time, but this is the hourly time frame that I'm using here. So that could be a very long time in terms of that. So it's very important that you keep an eye out for that 183.46 area. If you fail to close above that at 1 o'clock, there could be people coming in to short the stock back down to 181, maybe. I don't know. Otherwise, we can expect to see a follow through taking us a little bit higher here. How far it will push the price up, I have no idea. It's all going to depend on what the market does over the next couple of days. But yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So this one is not a clear cut. We like the fact that it's trading at support. We don't know whether this support is going to respond positively almost immediately or not. If it doesn't, there's a good chance that we could see the price playing around this area before we see like a real rise taking us up to 198, 197. I don't know, Pietro, do you still have any questions? Is there anything confusing you there? So you see this one, we are not really, because this is one thing that you need to look at, Pietro, all the time when you are trading the market. Look at the moving averages, but don't just look at the moving averages alone. Focus on your support and resistance level as well. Resistance levels are very important. They come first, and then you get your moving averages. Like here, let me show you here. When this market went up above 196, came down below the moving average, came down this area here, this is where you were supposed to sell this market really. From there, it went below the simple moving average and it started declining. That's when you were supposed to buy it. So this time we are trying to break above this rising trend line. If we take it out successfully, there's a good chance that we could see this market going back up to 197, 198. I'm looking at that. 197, 198. Okay, even 200, 201.64. I'm not against this at all. I think it's possible that you could end up around 200, 203 there. Yes, what is the question there, Pietro? I noticed on the graphs if the fast SMA crosses below. Yes, I know what you're talking about, but the problem is that I do not want us to rely more on indicators or moving averages. I want us to use charts more than we use the moving averages. That is why I opted just to employ one simple moving average, just to make sure that I focus most of my attention on the charts. It's a little bit difficult sometimes, not to rely on indicators, but I think it works well at the end of the day. I think you just focus more on that, and you will see that will pay off, Pietro. Pietro, I think we're going to end our session right now. I think we've done very well. You've been alone in the trading room today, so you got all the attention. Well, I hope you do well going forward in your trading. Let's meet again tomorrow. Please come back with more questions. Please go and practice. Thank you so much for taking some time out to spend your whole hour with me. Thank you so much, big guy. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye bye.